Hello, and welcome back to our next episode in the State of the City podcast series. Today, we're going to talk about how you can be involved in our boards and commissions and the other efforts that we have going on here in the City of Corinth. And with us today, we've got Mayor Bill Heidemann and our City Manager Scott Campbell. And gentlemen, we have a lot of boards and commissions. There are 7 of them. And every year, we interview people to be a part of these boards and commissions, and that is probably one of the easiest and best ways to get truly involved with what happens in the City of Corinth. And Mayor Heidemann, I think you've got some things to say about the boards and commissions, much as I do, because you and I both started on a board in the City of Corinth.
And I think this is probably one of the more critical things that we do as a council, and that is we interview people who want to serve on these boards. But more importantly, I think this is, again, another vehicle for you as citizens to get involved and learn about what's going on in your city.
And Mayor Heidemann, you probably remember back when we didn't have enough volunteers to actually fill all the boards and how much of an effort that was. And boy, how times have changed. We have now more people applying than we have spots to put them, which means that now we go through an interview process and an application process. So, Mr. Campbell, how would I go about putting an application in for one of the boards?
Absolutely. Great question. Applications usually open between June and July. You must be a resident of Corinth for at least 6 months to be on a board or commission. You must be a qualified voter. And if you're interested, go to our website, get the contact information. You can reach out to our city secretary. She can share with you what openings there are. There's information on the website about what each of these boards do, which is critical, obviously, because you need to know what it is you'd be doing and what you're interested in. But that information's out there for you, and just contact the city secretary's office and she'll get all that information to you.
So if you're an adult resident in the City of Corinth, we would go there. We would sign up to be a member of one of our 7 boards. But we also have opportunities for high school students here in Corinth. And believe it or not, we rely on them pretty heavily. And I'm talking about our Youth Advisory Council. So we have 11 students that are part of that group. And it's only for the age group of freshmen in high school through senior year. And Mayor Heidemann, speaking of that sort of involvement with our high schoolers, what are some of the things that they've done in the City of Corinth?
Well, one of the things they have done is they've created on our different events that the city sponsors, they've always been an active participant in those. Some of the different events that they've been involved with is at Easter time. We call it an Easter extravaganza. They go out and they help and assist. They help in our Fish and Fun, which is for the children that go down to one of our ponds and they have a fishing contest. Once a year, we have a fire open house. And what they do is they come in there and assist with the fire department and with the children to have a good time out there, because we usually have some different activities that they're involved. Pumpkin Palooza, that's one of the biggest events that the city puts on. And again, they participate in that, help and assist. And we have Movie in the Park, and they are very active in getting that put together, and they go out and help and assist the city staff in making sure that's a successful event. So as you can see, they're very active in our community. They play a very important role. And this, again, is an opportunity for them to learn how government operates and what they can do as they get older and they become citizens of a community, how they can participate.
Well, I want to make sure that we touch on one more project that the Youth Advisory Council has been instrumental with, and that's fundraising for the Hickory Creek Animal Shelter. You want to give us some information on that?
Yes, sir. This was a fantastic program. In mid-February, they collected about 250 pounds of much-needed material for the shelter, and they partnered with Hickory Creek to do a pet adoption. And they had a great time with that project, and they really look forward, I think, to doing it again next year.
And not only is it a volunteer opportunity to get them out and get them involved, but they are truly helping to guide and direct the vision of the city. Correct. So we use them on the strategic planning process, on our communications plan. We've used them in their input on some of the major efforts that city council later voted on and approved.
That's correct. And then they give us a little bit different viewpoint on a lot of the different items that we discuss and what we're trying to do in the community. And again, I think that's one of the beauties of this process of citizen involvement and with the YAC involvement. We get a full range of viewpoints on different subjects. And I think that's what makes a strong community is when you have that type of input.
And Mr. Campbell, this board is directed by staff like all of the other boards, but they get to do some other fun stuff, including joining TML.
They do. Actually, it's recently the Youth Advisory Council went to a summit hosted by the Texas Municipal League. They got to meet with councils from across the state,
Wow.
learn about a lot of things, professionalism, marketing strategies, and ways to come up with their own project initiatives within their community. So I think that was a very exciting opportunity for the group to do that. The registration kicks off for the Advisory Council in April or early May of each year. The students are selected prior to the school year ending, and you can find that and their terms actually run from August to May.
So, Mr. Campbell, while we've been bragging over the Youth Advisory Council as well as the other boards, I think that there's some interesting accomplishments that the City of Corinth has had. And so if we can take a moment, I'd like to discuss what's being put up on the screen. The first is the APWA accredited agency. So Corinth was the 11th city in Texas to receive the accreditation and the 144th city in the nation. So we were an industry leader in that regard, if you will. The next is the recognized police agency. Corinth was the 38th agency in the state of Texas to be recognized initially. And thirdly, the Centers for Public Safety Excellence. Our fire accreditation was obtained in 2022. And again, Corinth was one of the first batch, one of the first in the nation to be accredited with those items.
Absolutely, and we're very proud of that. Each one of those accreditation programs include best practices that the departments must follow on an annual basis, and it's a lot. It's not easy. It takes a lot of work to do it, and they have to accomplish a lot of things to get those honors, and we're very, very proud of that.
Yeah, like we don't accidentally get one of these.
That's correct. That's correct. And some of those recognitions are not necessarily our front-facing departments. Our finance department has received several distinguished honors, quite frankly, to include our Certificate of Achievement for Distinguished Budget Presentation, similar award for our Achievement of Excellence in Financial Reporting, and then a Certificate of Achievement for Planning Excellence. And we've also received some in our Purchasing Department. As you know, finance in the city is one of the most important departments that you have.
It is.
And to receive those is a culmination of a lot of hard work, a lot of organization. We're really proud of those too.
So, Mr. Campbell, to round out our communication on community engagement and this series of our State of the City podcast, we want to be sure that we're talking about how we can stay connected and especially the Let's Talk Corinth. So our communications plan began in 2018 with the culmination of our strategic plan that we put in place, and it was updated again in 2022. You want to give us some additional information?
Absolutely. I think one of the things for me when I started as the new city manager in October, I was really taken aback by the strength of our communications plan, and it's something that jumped out at me immediately. And we have so many different platforms that we use to distribute information. We've discussed several times today our data hub. That's our newest platform where residents can find information on a multitude of different subject matter: development, capital projects, financial reports. We want to continue to encourage our residents to use those. We want to continue to encourage our My Corinth mobile app, something that we started, allows access to report concerns. If you see something driving down the road and you say, hey, I need to let the city know about that, it's an excellent tool.
I've used it twice.
Very quick way to, and we review those every day. We see those, and it gives us an opportunity to respond timely, which is great. We want to have the best timely customer service that we can, particularly when we're dealing with problems, something that you see out there that needs to be corrected. So we encourage you, be sure to follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Subscribe to mycorinth.com for our city's engagement platform. Something we're really proud of, and I think it's paying dividends now for the residents.
And thank you for that, Mr. Campbell. And on that note, I'd like to thank Mayor Heidemann for being here in our final episode of the State of the City Address. And I would also like to thank you for being a part of this. There were 4 episodes. It was a lot to sit through, but all of that was prompted off questions that we get at the bottom of these videos. So if you don't mind adding additional questions, giving us some feedback, and while you're at it, please subscribe to this YouTube channel and hit the little bell icon so that you can be the first to see when we put out new information. And please stay tuned to our next monthly episode of Let's Talk Corinth.